I honestly don't know. I didn't. I mean, all I saw her was hit the ground and was on the ground. I didn't see it actually
So
happen.
you saw her walking across,
I mean,
going.
I saw her like.
You could follow every rule, you can exercise every bit of caution, and still find yourself blamed for causing your own injuries. Hi, I'm Brandon Osterbind, and I'm a personal injury lawyer here in Virginia. And in Virginia, because of pure contributory negligence, even a false accusation of fault can put your entire case at risk. That's exactly what happened in a recent case we handled. Our client was a pedestrian walking home after getting off a city bus. She crossed exactly where the bus let her off, walked in the direction she always walked, and was almost all the way across the street when a driver hit her. She did absolutely nothing wrong. But almost immediately the narrative shifted. The driver who hit her kept repeating the same phrase over and over. I never saw her. I never saw her. The police officer who arrived on scene wrote a report that pointed the finger at her, not the driver. And here's the part that most people never expect. The officer wrote that the two witnesses said that she darted into the road. He wrote that she contributed to her own injuries. But when we dug into the real evidence, the actual body-worn camera, those statements weren't true. Not one single observer said that she ran into the street. Not one person blamed her. And the officer's written version of events simply did not match what he recorded on his body cam. Now, here's why this matters so much. Virginia is only one of a handful of states that still uses pure contributory negligence. It's a common law rule, not a statute, and it means this: if you're found even 1% at fault, the insurance company will argue you get nothing. Not a reduced amount, nothing. So when an officer gets the story wrong or fills in the gaps with the assumptions, that becomes Exhibit A for the insurance company. They cling to that report like it's the gospel, even when the facts tell a completely different story. In our client's case, the police report looked terrible. If you read it without any context, you'd think she stepped right out into traffic. You'd think that the driver had no chance to avoid her, and you would think that she caused her own injuries. But we didn't accept the report at face value. We never do. We pulled the body-worn camera footage from the officer. We watched every second, the conversations, the tone, the officer's questions, and most importantly, what the witnesses actually said. And it was stunning how different the truth was from the report. One witness said she didn't see the start of the crossing at all. Another said the driver wasn't paying attention. No one said the pedestrian darted out. No one claimed she stepped into traffic suddenly, and no one supported what the officer wrote. That's why the body cam footage is such a critical piece of evidence. It captures the raw, unfiltered versions of events long before anyone starts interpreting or editorializing. But we didn't stop there. We also went and found the city bus route, including the exact stop where she exited. We got the bus's timetable. We mapped out where the bus let her off, the direction that she walked, the location that she crossed. We pulled Google Maps, street level photos, aerial views, and measurement tools. We recreated her path step by step. And what we found was clear. She was almost to the opposite curb, literally just a few steps from being completely across the street when the driver struck her. This was not a case of someone darting out unexpectedly. This was not a case of someone appearing suddenly. She was in the roadway long enough and visible enough that any reasonably attentive driver would have seen her. And that brings us back to the driver's statement, I never saw her. Drivers say this all the time, but I never saw her usually doesn't mean she wasn't there. It means I wasn't paying attention. It means I wasn't looking where I should have been looking. It means I didn't see what was plainly visible. When we overlaid the maps, the distances, and her path, it became obvious. The driver had a clear, unobstructed view of her for a significant amount of time. There was no reason not to see her. No obstruction, no weather issues, no blind curves, just inattention. So now we had three critical things. First, the body cam showed the police report was unreliable. Second, the bus route and maps proved that our client's path across the street was predictable and safe. And third, the measurements and diagrams proved that the driver had ample time to avoid her. When we presented that evidence, the entire narrative flipped. Suddenly, the question wasn't why didn't she see the car? It became why didn't the driver see her? That's how we protect clients from false accusations of fault. And in a contributory negligence state like Virginia, that level of detail is not optional, it is essential. So if you ever find yourself in a crash where someone points the finger at you, especially when you know you did nothing wrong, remember this. The police report is not the final word, and the insurance company will use any suggestion of fault, no matter how small, to deny your claim. Evidence wins cases. Truth wins cases. And getting the right evidence early can be the difference between a full recovery and no recovery at all. If you need help with your case, if you're being accused of being at fault, but you know that you're not at fault, give us a call. This is what we do all day, every day. But before you go, I want to make sure that you are more informed than anyone else on how to find the best personal injury lawyer for you. That's why I want you to watch this video, Why Most Personal Injury Lawyers Stink. You'll find it here, and it covers what most personal injury law firms miss and how that affects your case.